Let's have a conversation now with Dr. Oscar van Heerden, UJ's Center for African Diplomacy and Leadership, of course, at U Diplomacy, African Leadership Senior Research Fellow. And this, of course, is a conversation that speaks to a myriad of challenges, a myriad of conversations and positions that different political parties would have been taking, especially in the lead up to this particular conversation that they would now be having with one another, or even conversations in some of these cases. And Dr. van Heerden, one of the things that, a number of people are saying is that they're listening to different political parties. Others are already picking positions for themselves. They're saying, give us this, give us that. I want to be minister of this and that. And it does signal in some indications as to just how difficult things may be behind closed doors. But I just want to start with your reaction to the results.
Yes, thanks, Bongiwe. I think that it's fair to say that the electorate has decided to punish the governing party, the ANC. I think everyone was of the opinion that perhaps it will come in just below 50%, 47, 48%, but clearly the electorate had other plans, and this has been a significant defeat for the ANC. Coming in at 40%. So I think there is some serious introspection that's going to be required on the part of the African National Congress. But having said that, that is something further down the line. The immediate concern now is obviously forming a government, electing a president of the republic, and that is going to require coalitions. Now, the obvious one that people are saying is that the ANC must enter into a coalition with the Democratic Alliance. It gives it a majority, and they can then form government. And this will also augur well for alliances in the Gauteng province as well as in KZN. But, of course, there are ideological differences there.
And I wonder then, what do they do with those ideological differences? Because others are saying that that could be the stumbling block when it comes to some of the agreements that need to be made and the possible concessions, in some of the instances.
Absolutely. As you know, with coalition politics, we have experience at the metro level, we have experience at municipality level. Never, this will be the first time at a national level, but it is about negotiations. It's about give and take. If the demands that are placed on the table by a coalition partner is untenable, and the other partner cannot meet those. For example, we all know that the MK party, as well as the EFF, although the EFF in recent weeks have withdrawn this, but they both said that they will only talk to an ANC without Ramaphosa. As the Secretary General of the ANC has indicated at the Results Centre a few days ago, this is a red line for the ANC. This is a no-no. And any party that is demanding it, negotiations will not continue. So it's about how parties are going to taper their demands. That is going to be able to then give us a coalition.
So if the ANC, for example, goes with this particular red line to the coalition conversations, one then could say, okay, so does it mean that because they would have gotten 40%, are they now feeling like they've got a stronger hand? But others are warning against this, saying that everybody needs to be humble to understand that there is no outright winner. So what attitude then should they be taking as well, because they have their own red line?
Yeah, I think it is quite obvious that no one can really claim outright victory here. As an opposition party, the Democratic Alliance cannot claim that they have succeeded in bringing the ANC below 50%. This is a fact. They simply cannot make this. They cannot make this claim. What has happened here is a newcomer that came in the form of Mkhonto we Sizwe party, and that's the party that actually took a bulk of the votes from the ANC. Particularly in KwaZulu-Natal, and of course a few provinces that are bordering KwaZulu-Natal. And this is really the reality. The EFF has lost in this election. The DA, even though it has increased its vote with 1%, I think all of those people in the DA will know that it is by no means of their own program that the ANC is where it is today. And so everyone should be more humbled within this after this election, and should approach coalition negotiations in that light. Because if not, then I think we are going to face some serious problems.
So should then they explore the possibility of a government of national unity, and is there maturity enough to even explore that option?
Well, I think this would be an option that is open to the ANC. Remember, Bongiwe, the ANC remains the largest party, even though it only got 40%. And so anything that happens is going to have to include the ANC. The ANC could go for an option of a government of national unity, provided that those partners that come into such an alliance is going to be able to stick to the agreement. One of the criticisms, for example, with a coalition with the EFF and perhaps a smaller party that would give the ANC the 50% is that the EFF has demonstrated in many coalitions, in metros and in municipalities, to be an unreliable partner. They can at any moment withdraw from the coalition. They can make unreasonable demands in order to hold the alliance or the coalition to ransom. And what you really need is a partner where you can be guaranteed that they are not going to pull such shenanigans at every bend and corner. A more reliable partner is what is required. And this is why this decision is so difficult for the ANC.
A very difficult decision indeed. And I'm keen to hear your thoughts when the decision is made. What do you make of that? But thank you so much for your time, Dr. van Heerden. Do appreciate it. That was Dr. Oscar van Heerden, UJ's Center for African Diplomacy and Leadership Senior Research Fellow.